Hi there and welcome back. This is Annette and I am very excited as we enter into our new unit on technology. As we have discussed, technology is such an integral part of our lives, and yet in the classroom it is not so readily used as a teaching strategy. So to kick off this unit, I'd like to start with a little reflection. And let's think about why is it that you think that technology is not so readily embraced in the classroom? Take a few moments and just jot out some notes and think about that for just a little bit. Some reasons why technology may not be so readily embraced in the classroom is that as teachers, we're very comfortable with our lesson plans and our routines. We have our little happy place when it comes to the things that we are familiar with, and sometimes technology requires us to think outside the box, which is not a very pleasant feeling and can be very intimidating. Other concerns about bringing technology into the classroom is because technology is so vast, it's always changing. Where do we start? Where would we begin to bring technology in? And then, of course, there's the concern that technology, well, it must be very expensive. And how can we afford to bring in this kind of information into our classroom? Then there's also the concern that in order to be able to use technology, we'd have to have a master's degree in understanding computers and technology. And who has the time for these things? We're busy enough with our lesson plans and meeting the needs of our students. How can we find the time to be able to bring something so changing and something so new into our classroom? Well, that's what our focus is going to be as we explore not only the ways that technology can change our classroom and the ways that it can really help our students, but we also want to explore those myths and those issues that we sometimes think are the reasons why we don't bring technology in the classroom and how we can overcome them. So, again, this is Annette. I'm signing off. I'll be seeing you real soon, and I'm looking forward to it. Have a great day. Intelligence. It is defined as the capacity for learning, reasoning, and understanding. It is the aptitude in grasping truths, relationships, facts, and meanings. According to Albert Einstein, the supreme art of a teacher is to tap into that intelligence of a student and awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. Keeping that in mind, Howard Gardner claims that all human beings have multiple intelligences. He classifies these intelligences into 9 categories. These multiple intelligences can be nurtured and strengthened, or ignored and weakened. It is important to encourage children to explore and exercise all of their intelligences. In this next segment, you will learn how technology can play a major role in stimulating the multiple intelligences, and you will identify ways that you can implement the strategy of technology for each intelligence in your classroom today. So get out your notepad and get ready to connect technology and the multiple intelligences. Now we're going to start focusing on each type of intelligence and bringing in the technology that supports that intelligence. Remember that we want to be able to tap into all of the intelligences in some aspect of our teaching classroom. So the first intelligence we're going to focus on is our logical mathematical student. These number smart people learn best through numbers, reasoning, and problem solving. They are able to create and manipulate visuals and create mental pictures from many perspectives. Giving students opportunities to create or manipulate data that they find on the internet is an excellent strategy to bring into the classroom to promote this intelligence. For example, PowerPoint and giving them activities to do with PowerPoint or any kind of program that where they can manipulate data such as bar graphs and charts. Also, it's important to provide them with different kinds of tools such as a video camera. iMovie offers excellent opportunities to develop this multiple intelligence. So think about your classroom structure, how you teach your classroom. What are some things out there that you could bring in using this kind of multiple intelligence? Focus on that, maybe take a few notes on it, because this is something that we're going to be focusing on as we go through this unit on technology. Now going from our first multiple intelligence, we're going to discuss another one. This second multiple intelligence is our visual and spatial. These picture smart people learn visually and tend to organize their thinking spatially. They like to think and create pictures. They are also drawn to information that is presented in visual form. So for the visual and spatial experience to be able to promote that learning in the classroom, they would enjoy illustrating projects, identifying visuals, color coding presentations. As a matter of fact, the technology for visual and spatial is quite often used already in the social lives of most of your students. Programs, even on their cell phones, such as Instagram, would be a really great one where you take pictures to be able to tell stories. This could be implemented in any kind of classroom environment. There are also programs directly in our computer systems like Adobe Photoshop, where pictures can be edited and changed and added to. And then, of course, one of my favorite programs, one that we're using today, is the RSA Animate, where pictures are drawn, videotaped, and recorded over. This is an excellent tool to promote the visual and spatial intelligence. So now what you want to start thinking about is the visual and spatial. What is one activity that you could do in your current classroom environment that could really promote the visual and spatial intelligence? Again, like we did with mathematical and logical, jot down a few notes because this is good reference material for you to go back to at the end of this presentation. The next intelligence that we'll be focusing on will be musical and rhythmic. These music smart people learn best through sounds, including listening and making sounds, such as songs, rhythms, patterns, and other types of auditory expression. Provide students with audio and video recorders to capture their musical expressions. In the field of technology, some resources that we can bring into the classroom would be programs such as iTunes, which again is very commonly used in their social fields already. There are also YouTube videos, which has an endless number of resources on music that you can bring into your learning experience. And then there are also programs, web-based programs such as Kazoa, a free program where you can actually implement more than one of the intelligences, both word smart, linguistic, and musical, by bringing images and music together. So these would be some excellent programs and web sources for for developing the multiple intelligence of musical. The next multiple intelligence that we will be discussing is bodily kinesthetic. These body smart people learn best through physical activity, such as dance, hands-on tasks, constructing models, and any kind of movement. They are able to manipulate and control objects, as well as express their ideas through movement. They like to create and move around. Get them involved with gathering and organizing physical materials, keyboarding, acting out roles, or manipulating objects. Since a lot of technology involves stationary movement, you may wonder how to include bodily kinesthetic within technology strategies. Well, behind every action, we have action. For example, the video camera has to have a recorder. The movement or a mouse or a joystick includes action. And for the creative minds, classrooms can even go on virtual tours to appease the kinesthetic intelligence. So now just take a minute and imagine, how can you include kinesthetic within your classroom and technology? Just think of a few ideas of how you can implement this, jot them down, and keep track of it, because we will be referring back to this information later on.
The next multiple intelligence that we will be discussing is the intrapersonal multiple intelligence. These self-smart people learn best through metacognitive practices, such as getting along with their feelings and self-motivation. They are able to concentrate and be mindful. Provide tools to help students think about their thinking. Now, in technology, some good activities that could be used to endorse the interpersonal is Google. Researching items using search engines to do independent work that they can do at their own pace. Also, blogs are a really good interpersonal development tool. And there are other web-based programs besides blogs, but a good internet-based program, something that is a program already on your computer, a program such as Microsoft Word. Allowing students to be able to work at their own pace and be individual in what they're researching. This would be these are some really good activities that could build the interpersonal.
And moving right along, our next multiple intelligence is verbal linguistic. These word smart people learn best through language, including speaking, writing, reading, and listening. They are able to verbally or in writing explain, convince, and express themselves. They enjoy writing and creating with words. They would enjoy organizing groups' texts and putting together projects. They would also enjoy researching, listening, reading, and writing aspects of a research paper. Within technology, linguistics can be incorporated through web-based programs such as Weebly. Weebly is a free program where, with a few drag and drop moves, you can create a beautiful interactive website customized for your classroom and for your students. There are other programs that are based on the web that you can bring into the classroom for the linguistic learners, such as Wikipedia. Wikipedia can be accessed as a place to look for information, or different themes in the classroom can be designed about creating their own Wikipedia pages. And of course, everyday life things that we use can be incorporated in the classroom, such as email. This would be a great tool that could be used for the linguistic learner. Going on, we are going to now discuss the interpersonal multiple intelligence. Kind of going hand in hand with interpersonal, these social smart people learn through interaction with other people through discussions, cooperative work, and social activities. So some internet resources that would be really helpful in this department would be programs such as chat rooms, and also using Skype, or programs such as Facebook. They are able to create synergy in a room by being aware of the feelings or the motives of others. They are good at rallying groups together and getting discussions going. They are good at teaching other members of the group and coordinating activities. In a group project, they are good at editing. So think of some ways that as a teacher in your classroom, that you can incorporate the intelligence of interpersonal within your classroom structure. And also, don't forget to mention all of the other multiple intelligences that we've covered so far. You just want to reflect and think about different ways that we can incorporate the intelligences in the classroom. Our next multiple intelligence is the naturalist. These nature people learn best through the interactions with the environment, including outdoor activities, field trips, and involvement with plants and animals. They see the subtle meanings and patterns in nature and the world around them. They are able to adapt. They would enjoy field trips that involve observation and recording the world around them. Now, it may seem kind of difficult to connect technology with that, but with a camera in hand, a student can snap photos of the natural world around them, and with a simple cable and a wire, they can upload their images, and they can be used for practical sources in the classroom. So audio and video cameras are a must. Digital cameras, word processors, desktop presentations. These are all good tools to be able to use to reinforce the naturalist intelligence. We have traveled around with 8 multiple intelligences, and now for the ninth one, the newest from Howard Gardner. This one is called the existentialist. These wondering people learn best through seeing the big picture of human existence by asking philosophical questions about the world. Technology tools could include email, chat, teleconferencing, and other interactive communication tools to help students address their questions. Now that we have finished going through our unit on all of the multiple intelligences and how we can incorporate those through using technology, the challenge is left to you, for you to be able to reflect on your own classroom and on your own teaching. Include thoughts about your students and what your classroom looks like, and start to reflect on ways that you can bring in these different kinds of technology to be able to reinforce the intelligences. Remember, the focus is not on discovering what the multiple intelligences are in your students. The key is to nurture all of the intelligences in one way or another throughout your classroom structure. It was a pleasure working on this unit with you. I look forward as we continue on with activities to include technology in the classroom. All learners in the process of acquiring a second language has an invisible filter inside of them that has the potential to result in anxiety, stress, or lack of self-confidence. Stephen Krashen has done some extensive research into this phenomenon and developed some theories based on this idea. This invisible filter is theoretically called the affective filter, and it has an important role in learning or not of another language. If the affective filter is down, students are more comfortable learning on their own accord outside of stressful learning environments. Some people naturally have a low affective filter and are relatively confident about learning a second language. However, not everyone is so lucky. Many other people have experienced anxiety and the inability to effectively comprehend or communicate well in another language. They sweat, stammer, and butcher the language. They can't seem to control what comes out of their mouth. Sometimes they can't even utter a peep. The affective filter can make or break proficiency in a second language. This is one of the advantages of implementing technology in the ESL classroom. Most students already readily embrace technology in their own professional and social activities, and so bringing technology into the classroom allows for a lower affective filter, which, as stated by Krashen, aids in the process of acquiring a second language. Keeping your specific classroom in mind, consider 3 different technology-based activities that you could implement in your classroom. Remember, technology engages students while make learning fun. Technology can take a student outside of the boring classroom environment. It can also mask student learning objectives and creates an exciting learning environment. In teaching language learners, using technology has distinct advantages that relate not only to language education, but preparing students for today's information society. Computer technologies and the Internet are powerful tools for assisting language teaching because web technology is a part of today's social fabric, meaning language learners can now learn through Internet-based activities and programs. As we conclude this segment of your unit, I would like to recap the concepts we have discussed. Please respond to the following prompts with a reflective response of your own. Your responses should be a minimum of 2 paragraphs per prompt and uploaded into your computer system. Prompt 1. What are 2 reasons, as stated in the video, that technology is not readily used in a typical classroom? Include one additional reason, in your own opinion, why technology is not used on a frequent basis. Prompt 2. List the 9 multiple intelligences and include at least one strategy that you could use in your classroom today to support each multiple intelligence. Prompt 3. What are 2 benefits of implementing technology in the classroom? And your final prompt, prompt 4. What are some personal challenges that you feel towards implementing technology in the classroom? For some of us, we have that experience and we're very comfortable with bringing technology into the classroom. But for others, maybe there are reasons why that it's not being brought in. Perhaps, like in the cartoon in the beginning, you're one of those that are comfortable within your box. And by bringing technology in, you're stepping away from your comfort zone and trying something new. Whatever the reasons are, include them in your response. Remember, for each response, for each prompt, your responses should be at least 2 paragraphs. So in conclusion, you should be turning in your paper that includes 8 paragraphs responding to the prompts based on this video. And remember, the bringing in technology into the classroom, one of the greatest benefits is that it makes learning fun. It's been a pleasure working with you on this segment. I look forward to working with you with further activities in this unit. Good luck and great learning.